What's going on, fellow knife lovers? Welcome to Nice Knives. Today we're going to be taking a look at a knife that I recently just picked up. And this was in my monthly knife club membership box. And I wanted to get to this knife right away because there's a lot of videos out there where they're praising this knife, that this is the best thing since sliced bread. It's a very nice knife, don't get me wrong, but it did come with a few issues. And I think that people need to know about these issues before they decide to spend over $200 to buy this knife here. So this is the REMETTE RT Aurora. This is an axis style lock, which I do believe is Remette's first pivot or axis style locking system knife that they've created, which I think is great, at least that I'm aware of. So this has titanium scales. It's got a nice carbon fiber inlay, fat carbon fiber. This is like a Toxic Storm. They just call it yellow and green, but it's definitely like Toxic Storm. It is a reversible clip here. You can see it has a nice little plate to reverse the clip over, and it's recessed into the titanium. It is held on, unfortunately, with a T6 torque bit, which I think is poo-poo. It should have definitely been T8. So here's the clip on this side, and it is T6 as well. Very nice looking clip. The clip works fantastic. No issues there. It has T8 for the pivot screw, and you got a nice little back spacer. Nice little spot for your lanyard right there. It has a clip point, two-tone blade that's hollow ground. It's M390. You got a little flat up here that's satin finished. This has almost like a pearlescent kind of finish on that blade there. Very nice, deep, hollow ground blade there. So I like that about it. On ball bearings, you got some nice jimping there, as well as on the spine. Very nice looking thumb studs. So you get your nice full grip here without choking up on it. When you choke up on it, you get that nice jimping down here and right up there on your thumb. So it has a very good, comfortable grip. With that hollow ground blade, it's going to cut wonderfully with the M390. It does have a very nice sharpening choil. I think that they did a good job with this choil. There's going to be a lot of sharpenings that could be done with this blade before you eat this choil away. So now the issues that I have with this knife is that this thing's costing around 205 bucks. It used to be, I think, 240 bucks, and they say it's on sale or discount. Well, this thing just recently came out. And the reason I wanted to jump on this knife right away, even though I've only had it for a short time period, is to let you guys know about these couple of issues that I had. It doesn't take me a long time when I'm using a knife to know if it's good or not. I mean, I don't have to go out chopping up, lumber to let you guys know if this is going to be a good knife. So, I mean, I figured let's get to this right away because people need to know about it. So the issue I had with this knife was the action was super, super gritty. Not that it needed oil or anything like that. This has adjustable tension for the Omega springs that are inside there. And this came on level 3, and it was way too firm. In fact, I actually almost cut myself a few times trying to deploy the knife because it was so firm. And I don't know. I mean, I just didn't like it. Personally, I know this is my personal opinion. Other people are probably going to say I love the way it came. But to be honest, guys, you compare the action that this comes with the level 3 compared to the bug out, compared to my Vivid, compared to any of these knives you see right here, you're going to be like, wow, this thing is tough. Like, it's just very, very, very hard. So I took this knife apart, actually took it apart twice. I lowered it all the way down to the 5th setting, which was the lightest, and it had action almost just like my Drop Bear, but I do feel like the Drop Bear's action's a little on the light side. So I took it apart again, and I bumped it up to the 4th slot. So I think right now, I think it's perfect at the level 4 for me. I did like the way it felt at 5 too, but if I shook it down, the blade would come out, and it still can at 4. It still does, but it was popping right out of there at 5. So like my Drop Bear, yeah, she pops right out. So that was one of the issues. It was just the action. It needed to be adjusted. They should not have shipped this knife out, I think, at level 3. I think this should have been at level 4. If people wanted to make it tighter, they could. If they wanted to make it looser, You know, they could do that. I get why they put it at 3 because that's like the middle, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're going to put it right at 3 thinking, there you go, it's 3. But you're trying to represent your company, and this is our new lock, you know, we're trying to take on this locking mechanism. You would want people to say, wow, this feels amazing. Like my drop bear feels. My drop bear feels amazing. The action that they come with right out of the box is like butter. And so I think that for the price of this knife here, it should have felt the same way. So a newbie is not going to want to get this knife. Maybe it's his first knife, maybe it's not. And they're not going to want to spend $200 something, take the knife apart to adjust the Omega springs. They're going to want to get it out of the box. They're going to want this thing to just work right away. Until they get comfortable, you know, it's not going to be a problem for people that love knives or are knife collectors or knife aficionados or whatever. They're going to be like, oh, I'll just take it apart and adjust it. Well, someone else might not feel comfortable taking apart a $200 knife, trying to adjust some Omega springs because the action's too hard and too gritty. So there's that. The second thing that I think was a big boo-boo, first off, was that they're T6. These should have been T8s. There's no reason why they're still got T6 on here. We got to get past the T6, guys. We got to start getting T8s on here. It's not a huge deal. I have lots of knives with T6, but we got to start doing T8s. So let's, especially when we're coming out with new lines of products, let's get these to be T8s, all right? The other thing, the plate was that to reverse the clip over, it's got this nice little plate, which I do think is awesome, but it was sticking up out of the scale. I actually took this thing off, and it was, I'll tell you, it wasn't an easy thing to get off. I took it off here, and I took it off here, and I tried to put something through to pop it out. I tried shaking it out. It just wouldn't come out. I tried prying on it. I didn't want to wreck the titanium. So I'm like, well, geez, why won't this come out? So I actually had to get in there with a small little metal bit and pop it out of there. And it kind of marred my titanium a little bit, which I think, well, that's ridiculous that I had to do it that way. This should have already came completely flush, and I would have never even have had to do it. So I did sand it down as much as I could. I was getting it's so small, and I'm sanding, you know, trying to hold it onto your finger while you're sanding it to keep it nice and even. And I got it down pretty good. It still does stick out a little bit, but I'm happy with where it is. There's a little bit of marring, not on the screw, but kind of on the titanium, but whatever, no big deal. So there you go. Those are the three things, guys. The T6s should have been T8s. The plate should have been way better machined to just be completely flush with the scale. There's no reason that it should stick up like that. And also the action needed to be lighter. I think it needed to be at level 4. So anyway, that was a long rant, I know. But so I feel like I'm pooping on the knife. But it is a very nice knife, guys. Super cool. I'm super excited that Remette, you know, came out with this knife and showcasing that, yeah, they can make, you know, access style locks as well. I don't even know what they're calling this locking mechanism. So all in all, besides those little minor details that I pointed out, and that's more for Remette, and it's for you guys. I wish they'll probably never even see this video, but I wish they would watch the video and learn from that for their next line of products, because they're going to keep just, you know, pumping these out, because this is a brand new product. They're already on the market. They're not going to go back and machine this and reset the settings on here. I mean, maybe they will. They're not going to change these to T8s. So I wish they'd watch the video, and I wish they would learn from that. And let's make sure that the next knives they come out with are with those kind of things on them, right? So anyway, guys, here we go. Measurement time. The REMETTE RT Aurora sitting at 7¼ inches overall. The blade is meeting with the scales at 3 inches. The cutting edge is looking like an 1/8 shy of 3 inches. So it's between 2 3/4 and 3 inches here for the cutting edge. Very nice hollow ground on there though, two-tone finish. I think that's really cool. The weight of the RT Aurora, guys. Let me guess on this thing. It's a little heavy. I want to say 3.5 ounces. Why not? Well, why don't we tear this out first? What is going on? Tear. Looks like this might need new batteries, guys. 94 grams. 3.3 ounces. There you go. So I said 3.5, so we were awfully close that time. So I don't know what that was all about, but it doesn't matter. Here's the box that comes in. You guys, you know, basic stuff. It's got the pouch. There was no extra springs in here. There was no extra hardware. It was just the microfiber cloth and the pouch. So this thing, another thing, this should have came with some extra springs, guys. I mean, come on. Extra Omega springs, please. Remette, let's go. All right, so here it is. The RT Aurora against the bug out. We got to do the bug out. The action on the bug out, oh, it's so smooth, right? So why didn't that come out of the box like that? So there it is against the bug out. Another one that's just amazingly smooth, guys. My drop bear is just amazingly smooth. Especially my lighter weight one here. Yeah, this guy, oh, I don't know, just as smooth as butter. This one's a little on the heavier side, so it kind of has a little more of a bounce, but it's a beautiful knife. Love this Kaiser here. So there you go. Boom, there it is. The Concept Vivid. This one has too light. It's too light, in my opinion. The Omega springs on this knife are far too light. The detent, look at that. It's just far too light. It just pops right out there. I'm not even really trying. Yeah, it just comes right out. So the springs on this knife, too light. I'm going to have to upgrade these at some point, make it a little firmer because it's just too light. So there you go against the Concept Vivid. Very cool, though. These are all very nice, very cool knives. You know, carbon fiber, titanium, all that cool stuff. Here we go. The Kaiser Sheepdog, right? This is another Axis style locking mechanism with the carbon fiber S35VN. Very nice knife here, very chunky, but even a knife of this weight, the blade being so heavy, the action on this is super smooth as well for a pivot style lock. So once again, Kaiser usually doesn't make mistakes that often. I think Kaiser does a fantastic job. So there's those size comparisons for you guys. Now it's bonus knife time. We're going to get to the bonus knife. This is the bonus Axis lock. This is the Benchmade Mini Bedlam S90V blade steel. You guys have seen my video on this knife. This knife is freaking amazing. Love this knife. Full carbon fiber scales, S90V stonewash finish on this scimitar shaped blade. Great ergos. This thing is super cool, guys. Love this knife. So this makes a great bonus knife, doesn't it? Yeah, I think it does. There we go. So that's it, guys. So I think that this knife is really cool. Now that I've adjusted the tension on those Omega springs, I think it's way better than it was out of the box. Even though I marred this up a little bit, it's whatever. It's not a big deal. It's barely noticeable. But yeah, I mean, let's go, guys. Let's get this right out of the box. Let's make this thing perfect, okay? Let's get the T8. Let's get this tension adjusted properly. Let's get this completely flush with the scale. If all that was done, I would have nothing to complain about. And like I say, this is a fantastic knife. Don't get me wrong. It's a great knife. But it's just those things that kind of get to you. It bugs you just a little bit. Like, well, why didn't they do that? Why didn't they do that? What's up with this action? And like I said, the fact that I had to take it apart to make me really happy with it, because I was getting kind of frustrated. I was afraid to hand this knife to anybody and say, here, try to deploy it, because I was afraid they were going to cut themselves, to be honest. Yeah, so now that it's adjusted, I feel like I could pass this knife off to somebody like my son, my coworker. Here, check this thing out. Before, I'm like, yeah, probably don't deploy it because it was pretty darn firm. And that's even after oiling it and everything like that, guys. So, all right, I hope you found this video helpful. I hated to bash on this thing. I wasn't bashing too hard. I do really think this knife is awesome. I love everything about it except for the things I pointed out. So don't let that detour you. Just know that if you get this knife, you'll be wanting to probably adjust those Omega springs. And, you know, you might want to do the sanding of the little plate there. But I would just probably leave it alone because like I said, I kind of did what I did to it, but not a big deal. So yeah, I hope this helps you guys out. We're going to catch you guys in the next video. Peace out, everybody.